Once again, it's time for a little comic relief from mainland China. As anyone who's watched Clear as Vodka's videos will know, occasionally I like to poke fun at China, and there are just so many strange things happening here that I can't resist. Here's a collection of strange photos that I'm going to introduce to you. The one you see right now is a playground on top of an apartment complex. Yes, believe it or not, someone installed this playground on top of the building to save space. This playground is for girls only. Unbelievable, but true. The slide goes to the edge of the building and drops off. This is live in the mainland. Nicolas Cage at an event here just a couple years back, and you can see the microphone and all of the plugs for the different media outlets in China. And look how they canvas and they cake the microphone stands to get their brand out there. However, not one of these media outlets is independent. They're all controlled by the same people, the central government. So any representation of it being an independent company is just pure fantasy, only in China. This right here shows us that China is opening up more and more to alternative lifestyles, and you guessed it, gays. And this is a house of ill repute for gays only, men who like same-sex relations. They go to the bro house. Use your imagination. This is all too common here. A lot of these bikes that I've showed you here, they can pack on a lot of material, and they do so. This is a three-wheel trike with a little electric motor in there, and you can also pedal it. And there's 4 bundles that are so big that they should only be one bundle at a time, but not here in China. Here's a special dish called homos with meat. If you like homos with your meat, you'll enjoy this dish in China. Another bicycle with styrofoam on it. I've seen them actually bigger than this, and I've at one time showed you a picture of it, but they can really pack them on, and that's efficient. Here's a swimming hole in China, and in the bigger cities they have public swimming holes, and you get people that will crowd around to get into the pool and do all kinds of strange things in the water. Nothing like a public swimming pool to bring out the cheap people into the swimming waters. If they charge a fee, you wouldn't see half the people there. Here are some amulets or keychains. Now, the Chinese have a problem with animal abuse, as well as child abuse and some other key social areas. But these are baby turtles that they've basically mummified, or they've frozen in time in these amulets. They killed them like this while they were alive, and you can get one for your keychain anytime. What's so unusual about this Shanghai photo? Not the traffic, but if you look closely over here, the mother is having her son fix the air conditioning unit by going out into the ledge to do it. One slip and he falls to his death. Social problems galore in China. Child abuse, that is unbelievable but true. Here's some cooking oil that's being reused and reused and used again. As anyone who's had street eats or eaten in restaurants that are mom and pop shops in China, at some time or another you're going to get ill because it's unavoidable. Reusable cooking oil and other unspeakable things are in the food, guaranteed. Here's another one from Shanghai. Longest traffic jam, world record in the world, 62 miles lasting 12 days. 12 days in this would be enough for anyone to go postal. How about this one? Commute. Take your son or daughter to kindergarten in the morning before you go to work. How about dragging them in a milk carton? Again, no police, no child abuse claims against these families putting their children in danger. How about this? Beijing. Air is polluted as so many other cities in China are. So what do? You have a company that's a startup, and you hire a bunch of attractive females to peddle clean air and oxygen to their citizens. Pay a few kwai and get a few breaths of fresh air. How does China sell peaches? Well, here's one way to do it. Sex sells, and so will peaches if you put on these micro panties onto the peaches to sell your fruit. Take note. If you catch a man on high beams in the city and you're a cop in China, what do? They do cruel and unusual punishment. This man here is forced to look into the high beams of the police car or pay a fine and go to jail. So he risks blinding his eyes and hurting his eyesight to get out of a ticket. Cruel and unusual punishment, for sure. But I guess it sure beats being pistol whipped or being murdered in the back of a police van in America, right? Eggs boiled in the urine of young virgin boys is a delicacy in Dongyang, China. This is true. And it gets stranger and stranger the further south you go in China. But if you like your eggs with urine, China's a great place for you. I wonder why they didn't have eggs with urine of young virgin girls. Go figure. The health effects of breathing air in Beijing has been studied, and it is equal to smoking 21 cigarettes per day. Now, why wouldn't you smoke in China? It's the same as being here anyway. In Chongqing, China, people have their own lane for texting with the e-bikes, with the pedal bikes, with the taxis, buses, and cars. Texting is very important in Chongqing. I should have showed you that earlier. Pizza Hut, when they launched in China, was just like the Pizza Hut in the West. They had full salad bars and they had similar menus. But then what they noticed is that their all-you-can-eat salad bar was being taken advantage of, and the Pizza Huts were losing money because Chinese people would build these castles full of salad, and they would stay at their tables for hours on end. Or worse yet, they would pack their handbags full of salad and take them home and eat them for days. I tell you, Chinese are the cheapest people on earth. No doubt about it. Like your Apple phone, how about this? A pair. That's right, pair of mobile phones. Apple knockoff. It's estimated that Chinese are 40 million more males than there are females, okay? And at least 30 million men of marriageable age that are unable to find a spouse because of one-child policy and the social nightmare that is. So what are a lot of men doing? They're going to Vietnam and other places to find brides, and also they're buying Japanese love dolls. So that's a cottage industry in China. If you can't get a real wife, fake it. How about this? Restrictions galore, huh? No, nothing. You can do nothing in this zone, so forget about it. Carefully slip and fall down. They're suggesting that you do so. If you carefully slip and fall down, then you're within your legal right. Don't worry about the wet floor. It's no big deal. Apartment complexes in China now. This place was zoned very irregular. What I think happened here, as you can see by the photo, is that the developer had permits to build so many complexes, but not enough land to fit it all in. So what did he do? He encroached on the national highway system and took up half of the highway space. Now he's going to have to tear that down, and the company is going to be, like so many Chinese construction companies, rebuilding their faulty construction. iPhone 5, because you have more money than sense. That's a big red light. I love BJ. Double meaning? You bet. You've heard of Steve Jobs, but how about this character here? An action pad. Jobs look alike, only he's a little bit short. Germany sexual harassment dish, 150 grams, 58 yuan. I showed you this before in a coffee shop, but yes, you can buy sexual harassment in the restaurant. In Wenning, Zhejiang province, the homeowners that are in these apartment complexes refuse to sell to the developer, even though they were offered a hefty sum. So what do? They build the highway around them, and they wage war, and it gets ugly. You see videos here in China of people that are slinging hot oil and projectiles and trying to evict these people that have a lien, a right to their homes from before the communist revolution, and they're not about ready to give up their property rights. Now, this is not the case in all provinces, but it is in this particular one. So there you go. That's the strange life in China, and there's much, much more beyond this. So a little comic relief never hurt anyone.